What is up, peeps? FWTVHD here. Let's welcome you back to another YouTube video, and today we're doing something a little different. As you can tell by the title, we are going to be discussing proxy cards. Now, let's just go through the definition of what this type of card is, so you can understand exactly what is going on. Now, a proxy card is a fake, a quote-unquote fake Pokemon card that you would print out through multiple ways to use specifically for testing, practicing, stuff like that. Now this is actually the first time I've gone into printing proxy cards. They are very obviously terrible. They're black and white. I don't want to be wasting a lot of ink when I print out like a proxy deck. The whole point is not for it to look pretty, it's for it to do its job. Yes, I know it's a full art here, but that's just the way it worked on the proxy site I used. Now, so let's just go into why exactly someone would do this. So when it comes to proxies, you need to you need to have cards to test. So if you want a deck, if there's a deck you like, if there's a deck you want to try out before a tournament, and you don't know whether or not you want to invest in these cards, let's say you've got a few decks you want to try out, and you've gone ahead and kind of sorted out a few lists. What proxies will do is you print out the proxy so you don't have to invest in the card and then realize you're not actually going to be playing the card. So that's why it's really good to go and try and do proxies. So you can, make a list, try out in theory with a proxy deck, and if it runs well and you've got your final list, then you can go purchasing those cards. That's why proxies are pretty decent to use. Also, some cards are way too expensive for, people at a young age who mainly play this game. To purchase multiple of, think Tapu Lele. That card is, I think, still around £60. Just for the one ultra rare basic card, right? So that's not even full art or rainbow rare. That's just for the standard ultra rare. So you can print yourself out some Lele so you can try them out in in decks to make sure that you are, if you do buy a Lele in the future, you're using it right. Now, I know Lele is not a prime example because Lele is almost in every deck. But let's say a Guzma or whatever, anything that you are going to need to spend money on, that's why proxy decks are out there. So it's also for testing, and for that reason as well of funds. Now you're probably thinking, okay, why would you test with proxies? Why not just go and something like PTCGO? Well, the thing is, not everyone has every card in PTCG. I mean, if you play it long enough, you'll get a good amount of cards. But there's another thing as well, which I want to show you here, is you can see here, I'm actually playing with the Ultra Necrozma GX, which is not out yet. So that's my other point. In PTCGO, you can't get these cards in the game until they are released. So the good thing about proxies here is you can go ahead and get ahead of the game. You can understand these new cards, play them, play test them with some friends in some current format decks that are strong in the meta, to see how they fare, to see whether or not that's a card you want to invest in and a deck you want to start playing. So it's a good way to get ahead of the race and start practicing before they are released. Now, of course, print is out in Japanese. I can't read Japanese, but you do your research, you find out what this does, what the cards do, and from there you try and make deck and play it out. And so exactly why I've printed this. This is actually a Ultra Necrozma, excuse the glare, an Ultra Necrozma deck list for the Forbidden Light release format. It has things like Beast Energy, it's Ultra Necrozma Malamar. This deck list is indeed, so it's even got the mystery treasure. This deck list is from Beast Energy as well. Andrew Mahone, which is Darium's competitive Pokemon. There was a list there. There's actually a video uploaded today, which inspired me to check out this list because I really do want to play this deck. I'm really fascinated by it. So yeah, you get to play cards that aren't out. It's a lot cheaper, and all you really need is a printer and the appropriate site. If this is something you are interested in doing, I will link one or two sites down below. I actually did use two sites eventually for this because some of the cards weren't available. So Mystery Treasure was not available on one of the sites, so I had to find another site and managed to get it printed out that way. Now, how have I managed to get it in the sleeves, you ask? In such a way, you could probably see here. Let me move that out of the way. You can probably see here the yellow border. If I just take it out the sleeve for you, you can see all it is just a sheet of paper with it printed and a gibble, just a a Pokemon card that I'm not using, a Pokemon card that's just laying dormant in my storage. So what I would do is I would just simply put them together. You don't have to worry about arranging it yet. Just throw them in the sleeve, if I can get them in, and then arrange it like that. There we go. And then just slide it in. It's not the prettiest, it doesn't look great, but it's going to do the job, and that's exactly why it's there. Sorry about the glare there, this is not a matte sleeve, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and give you my thoughts. What I'll do is I'll go ahead, move a box here, and I'll place some cards down so you can just see when I'm talking. I'll give you my thoughts on the ideas of proxies, let you know a bit more about them. Now, proxies are indeed not legal. Obviously, you can't, go ahead and bring a proxy to a tournament and think you're going to go ahead and play your list. But again, it's just really great for testing out new decks. I'm really excited, actually, to test this one out. Actually, let me move that back a little bit. I'm really excited to test this one out with Ty and also Joe and other people that I play with to see how this fares. So I'm actually really excited. Now, let me just give you the pros and cons. So, well, actually, no, I've already given you the pros. The pros, of course, was the lack of expense and, of course, being able to play with newer cards that are not yet released. But one of the cons, unfortunately, is that, when you put a piece of paper on top of a Pokemon card into a sleeve, especially a thick aluminum sleeve, I didn't want to use my good sleeves. I just wanted to throw these in here. Again, this is just testing. I'm not going to go ahead and commit my best stuff to it. But if you are going to, put it in these types of sleeves, it is quite thick. The deck ends up pretty damn thick. Damn that girl, she thick. I can't provide a comparison right now, unfortunately. I don't have a deck with me, but it does turn out to be quite thick. Now, it's not a big problem. I have quite stubby hands, but I'm still able to handle the deck. I don't, have any problems of any sort handling the deck. So, it's not something that's crazy important to me. If you're using thinner sleeves, again, these trainer box sleeves are quite thick. They are aluminium, whichever's your preference. Yeah, so, using that it's not that great. It's not that fun. But at the same time, you're not going to be complaining it's a proxy. So after putting these out, it did take a bit of time. I managed to get it all done in about an hour and a half, which is a bit of time to commit just for a fake deck, I know. But again, it's just something I'm really excited about doing. And I may, if I'm able to upload a video using the proxy deck, against Ty or something down that line. But I found it really fun to do. So it's something I would definitely recommend. Again, all you need is just a piece of paper, the right site, which again, I will link. I believe the one I used was Proxy Croak, and the other one was Limitless TCG. Those are the sites I used to search for it. I like Proxy Croak because you can, put the whole deck list in as long as you've got the codes right. When I say codes, I mean set. So for this one example, this is Forbidden Light. So you would do 4 Malamar FLI for Forbidden Light. And then, it would throw it on a sheet of paper. You'll get 9 cards on each sheet of paper. So if you throw a whole deck list in, you'll get a certain amount of pages and then you cut them out. So it is quite long, that process, but I kind of like that. And then the other one, Limitless TCG, is a bit longer. But again, it's got more availability on the newer cards that are out and not released in US or UK. So yeah, I think it's pretty damn fun to do. So this is something I'd recommend you doing yourself. Again, you don't have to get it in black and white. You can print it out in color. If you want to go the extra mile, I've seen people making proxies where they get a holo card and they actually go ahead and they pretty much scrape off the card, leaving the holo, and then they would get like a transparent layer where they would go ahead and, print the transparent layer of their card onto that holo to make it look as real as possible. If you want to go that extra mile, you can. But when it comes to testing, I think proxies is pretty damn good. Again, it does look very ugly. I'm very aware, but it's just for fun to play. So something I'd recommend you do. But anyway, that's my opinion. This is the first time I've done a proxy, and I am happy with it. And I think it's something I'd recommend you do if you can't afford all the cards. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below on proxy cards. Is that something you'd be looking into? Is that something you're not too fussed about? Have you got all the cards you need? Or, do you not even play the game competitively? Do you just like to see people talk about the game? Just let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. Please do, of course, leave that thumbs up if you did enjoy. And of course, there's that subscribe button with the little bell. Go click on that bell icon just in case, because you never know, YouTube's all over the place nowadays. But other than that, I'll leave you to it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and peace.